Good morning, this is Dominic with TheBackVlog, and I would say 2 weeks ago now, maybe, my fiance and I finished Squid Game 3, is what Netflix is calling it, Squid Game Season 3, which evidently is going to be the final season of the show, but I guess there's going to be some American spinoff, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, Season 3 of Squid Game definitely ramped up things even more. I don't want to say it was an unsatisfying conclusion, just because of, how everything ended. It was a good conclusion. That's a good way to conclude the show. But I think the manner in which they concluded the show is a little bit dour, but, they had a reason to conclude it the way they did. I read that the director, or the creator or something, ended it the way that they did because of the way the world is in real life. If this were happening in real life, this is probably how things would go down. But yeah, I have some notes written down about the show. But off the top of my head, one thing that I think Squid Game does really well, and I don't remember if Season 1 did this much. I don't really remember Season 1 much because it was a little while ago, but this is kind of building off from Season 2, since 2 and 3 are kind of like a Part 1, Part 2, in essence. But the way that the story is structured, where they're kind of like balancing an A plot, a B plot, and a C plot, is really well done. I don't know how many other things that I've seen that are juggling 3 subplots at the same time, and then kind of have it all collide into each other, and very smoothly at that. I'm sure it's not an uncommon thing, but anything that comes to my mind right now is mainly just you have the main plot, and then you have the subplot that will kind of fall in line with the main plot at some point. But like I said, Squid Game is balancing 3 different sub-stories to build one greater narrative, and I think it's really, really well done. I gotta say, the VIPs of the show, and this was the case for the first season as well, they're always the worst part about this show, and I don't know what it is about them. I hated the VIPs not because they were evil, which is the reason we're supposed to hate them, but because they're annoying. And I don't know if it's the dialogue. The dialogue for those guys are really, really bad at some points. So I don't know if it's the dialogue, or if it's the way their voices are dubbed, or the way their roles are performed. But something is just off about them that makes me just want to hit them. And it's not because they're deplorable people. It's just because I don't want to hear them talk, because they're obnoxious. Which, it kind of took away the original intention of what those characters, or how the audience was supposed to feel towards those characters. Because I know this is not an uncommon thing. I know a lot of other people are these things, the VIPs are things. These things are cringy as heck, and they need to go. So when I heard news that, this news is coming from my fiance, so I haven't read any articles firsthand, but when I heard that they were making an American spin-off, I was like, alright, well, that's something I won't watch. But I guess, I don't know if I was given incorrect information or what, but if that is a thing that's happening, it sounds like David Fincher might be a person, or the person directing it. And I think David Fincher is one of the people I would trust with something like Squid Game. I feel like that's right up his alley. And David Fincher is no stranger to Netflix original stuff, because you do have Mindhunter, and you got Mank. And there might be something else, but I'm not sure. But yeah, David Fincher seems like the person for that. And you know, we had a wild Kate Blanchett cameo at the end of the series as well. And Kate Blanchett is also no stranger to David Lynch films. Or, yeah, David Fincher films. David Lynch would not be a good choice for Squid Game. Could you imagine that, though? That's all I wanted to say about Squid Game Season 3. Definitely phenomenal. Now that the show is over, I hope they release the show in on a physical format. And honestly, they don't even really need to separate it by seasons, because if they're just gonna just call it Squid Game 1, 2, and 3, they could just put one thing under one big release. But yeah, if they ever release that, I would definitely pick that up, because Squid Game minus the VIPs is incredibly good. Let me take care of this.